title is going to be just this smaller sentence that says how many numbers will be on a number line. Oops, I need a number in there. 0 through 100. Just this smaller question is your title, please. All right, so the last couple of days, we've been talking about rounding to the nearest multiple of 10, meaning skip count of 10. So when we were putting that on our number line, how many numbers were we looking at on our number line? If you're not sure, look back to yesterday and look how many numbers were on that number line, even if they were invisible numbers. Bryson, you're raising your hand or you're looking at your notebook? The answer's not on that page. You need to turn the page to figure out how many numbers were on a number line when we were rounding to the nearest 10 yesterday. Also, please don't skip all those pages. Heidi, how many numbers were we looking at? 10. We were looking at 10 numbers. Now, did we write all 10 numbers down yesterday? No. We just knew they were there. We didn't have to write them, but we knew that they were there. Today, we're going to be using number lines that go from 0 to 100. How many numbers are on that number line? How many numbers would be on a number line that goes from 0 to 100? Gia? 100 numbers. Are we going to write all of those numbers? No. Oh my gosh, no. We'd be there for forever. But we need to know that they are there. Go ahead and draw a number line. You're going to label it 0 to 100. 0 to 100. No, you are drawing a number line, and you're going to label it 0 to 100. Okay. Now, somebody, I can't remember who just answered this question. Someone already told me there are 100 numbers. On that number line. They're pretty small, but they're there. What would be the midpoint or the midway point? We have 100 numbers. What's going to be the middle of 100 numbers? Jacqueline? 50. Because I'll have 50 numbers over here. 50 numbers. And 50 numbers on that side. That's how Macklin knows that's the middle, because we've split our number line in half, and there's the same amount of numbers on either side. John?
What's our real mid number? That's 55.
The real mid number is 50.
How do I
Because it's 0 to 50 has 50 numbers, and then 50 to 100 has 50 numbers. So the middle is 50.
Can I get it?
Excuse me?
Can I get it?
It's not 55, it's 50. So far, so good? All right, let's practice finding some midways. Go ahead and draw another number line. But this time, I want you to label it 100 to 200. 100 to 200. Mackenzie, how many numbers are on this number line? There's 100. Can you literally see all 100? No, but you know they're there. You guys are third graders. You know that there are numbers on that number line, even if I didn't write them down. What's the middle of this number line? Bryson? 150. Very good. I'm still working with 100 numbers. So my middle is still going to be 50. But now I'm in the 100 to 200 range. So now my middle is not 50, it's 150. you
So
thinking?
basically, now 5 is odd.
5 is an odd number.
Then how is 50 is there an odd number?
50 is not an odd number. 50 is an even number.
Wait, how can I know you're positive? There's a 5 and that's an odd number.
Well, because
there's a 0.
5 is in the tens place, and we tell if it's even or odd by looking at the ones place. Rylan, do you have a question?
No, I think I have something.
What?
So like the reason how you tell if it's even or odd.
I'm not interested in even or odd. I'm interested in rounding right now. So is your question about rounding? All right, save even and odd for when we get there, okay? Draw another number line. This time label it 300 to 400. This time label it 300 to 400.
My paper breaks.
What is the midway point for this one? What's the midway point here? Heidi? 350. 350. So far, so good? Madison, so far, so good? Okay. Now let's look at rounding. Rounding is going to work the exact same way. We're still trying to figure out which endpoint it's closest to. What multiple of 100 is the number 78 closest to? Now this is going to be a little tricky. Go ahead and draw a number line. Now we got to figure out what's going to be our start and end point. What's going to be our start and end point where 78 is going to be in between? Remember, we're using multiples of 100, aka skip counts of 100. So what's going to be our range where 78 would fit inside? Zach, what you thinking? What? Okay, we're on this problem. Get with me. Evelyn?
70 and 100.
Not 70 and 100, because 70 is not a skip count of 100. Rylan, what do you think?
It will probably be in 170 to
When you 170?
yeah, but it still has 78.
78 is going to be after 170? No. Mackenzie?
70 and 80.
Is 70 and 80 skip counts of 100? No. Remember, we're doing skip counts of 100. Kaden?
Is it 0 to 100?
Yes. When you start skip counting, what's the first number that you should think about? 0. What's 100 more than 0? 100. Is 78 going to belong in between 0 and 100? Yes. 78 is not in between 0 and 100? Yes. Before we put 78 where it goes, we need a midway point. Put your midway point down. Carl, what is your midway point? 50. So now that we know that, where is 78 going to go? Gia? Come put 78 on our number line. First, let's think about this, Gio. Is it before 50 or after 50?
After.
All right, Gio says after 50. Let's see where Gio puts 78. Okay, go ahead and label that dot too. That's a 75. Gio, why did you put 78 there? Talk to us.
Because it's not too far from 100 and 100, and it's pretty much squished together.
Okay. 78 is not right next to 100. Is it right next to 50? No. It's kind of in between 50 and 100-ish. I agree with Gio. I think that's exactly where 78 should go. Make sure 78 is on your number line.
Equally a bigger number line.
Now, which endpoint am I rounding to? Is 78 closer to 0 or 100? Sit up. Colby? It's closer to 100. I can see that. Let's write our math symbols. 78 is about what?
100.
Madison, yes, 100. 78 is about 100. John, do you have a question?
Okay, so what in my opinion, this is...
All right, next one. What multiple of 100 is the number 342 closest to? Go ahead and draw your number line. Go ahead and draw your number line. We got to decide our endpoints. What's going to be our endpoints? Evelyn?
300 to 400.
How did you figure that out, Evelyn?
Because I looked at 342.
342.
And then I added 100, which is 400.
Beautiful. So Evelyn said, you know what? It makes sense that I start at 300 because I have to figure out 342. And then Evelyn remembered, oh yeah, I have to have 100 numbers. So my endpoint is going to be 400. Raise your hand and tell me the midpoint. Raise your hand and tell me the midpoint. Huxley? 350. Good. 350. Now that we know that, where is 342 going to go? Bryson? 342. Bryson, is it going to go before 350 or after 350? Before. Go put it on there. See where is it going to go. All right, Bryson, talk to us. Why'd you put it there?
Because it's not too far from 350 or not too close to it. That's why.
Okay. Any thoughts about where Bryson put 342? Hear your thoughts. You gotta call on them to make them speak. Dude, you gotta do your thinking before you raise your hand, baby. Too close to what? From what? All right, why?
It looks like if it was actually 352, it would be like close.
Okay. Bryson, what are your thoughts on that? Do you understand what he's saying? He said 342 is pretty close to 350, so he thinks it should be closer to 350. What do you think, Bryson?
I think that's right. Yeah.
You think it needs to be closer? You think it needs to be closer?
Yeah, I think you have to be far down.
Scooch it over closer. I think Colby's correct here. It's harder because we're dealing with really big numbers. 342. Yes, that's 8 numbers away, but 8 numbers away is way closer than the 42 numbers away from 300. It's going to be much closer to 350. It's going to be much closer to 350. I like that spot, Bryson. John, what's up, baby?
No, I think
Good fix.
that number should be way farther.
It's not going to be farther, John, because I'm getting closer to 350. Bryson, no, thank you. All right, let's try another one.
People are trying to do this.
Another number line. This time we've got what multiple of 100 is the number 561 closest to? We're rounding to the nearest 100. Multiple of 100. For 561. What's going to be my end point? Ariana, have you seen you raise your hand? Hold on. You're a program fan. You got thoughts. I know you do. Mackenzie? 500. Because I said it in the number I'm trying to find. Ariana, what's my end point? Yeah, Tegan, you see how I'm going a distance of 100 now? What's my midpoint? Tegan, you know? Beautiful. All right. Where's 561? 561. Evelyn, 561. Is it going before 550 or after 550? After 550. Let's see where she puts it. You might have thoughts. Hang on to that for a second, John. I need to see where Evelyn's putting 561. Not while I'm teaching. All right, check out where Evelyn put 561. Do you have thoughts on that?
I think it's just a little bit too far away.
Why?
Because it looks like it's like 15 away when it's only 11.
Okay. We got some other thoughts, Evelyn?
Ariana?
Yeah, I'm allergic to you, John. That's fine. I'm hearing that we think 561 should be a little bit closer. If you agree with that, give me a me too signal. Maybe scooch it over just a little bit closer. I'm not mad at it, but a little bit closer might be helpful.
I think it's really a little bit farther.
It's not going to be a little bit farther, no. It's going to be closer to 550, because 560 is not that far away, or 561. That works. Okay, I can help you, but not right this second. Okay, John? Do you have a question?
I'm kind of confused by this, but you know how earlier that said
55 is not in the middle. You said that, but I fixed it, remember?
look.
550. That doesn't say 55, that says 550.
Yeah, but I'm always so confused by how you're meant to put it that this will make your meant to count clay by this. This is how it looks.
Yeah, we kind of have to imagine them. Which endpoint is 561 closest to? Look at it. We can tell just by using our eyeballs. Balaam? 600. There we go. So let's write our math symbols. 561 is about 600. 561 is about, with that math symbol, 600. That's the sentence that matches that math sentence. Those mean the same thing.